Buenos dias, Gunners Collective TV. Back at it, you already know. Like a torta with some bad habits. Bye, bye. Let's get straight to this intro. Welcome back to the channel. And if you haven't already hit that like and subscribe button, make sure you go ahead and do that. Put your notification bell on all so that way you're directing the direction of the dope content that I stay kicking. And I appreciate your support. Omparu! All right. I know there was a whole bunch of Omparus thrown around this weekend, man, because Wack 100 got into a fussle and a tussle, right? Hey, you want to wrestle? Omparu, you want to wrestle, right? A wrestling match ensued in Kaiser, Oregon. So I guess Blueface was doing a concert at like a little local club. And let me explain to you, man. You know, I lived around that area. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, Kaiser, Oregon is the equivalent of Pixley in Tulare County, where Tommy Guns is from. Sue the gang, right? Straight up. It's a small little hole in the wall town that's located on the outskirts of Salem, which is the capital of Oregon, right? So for whatever reason, I don't know what type of managing Wack 100 is doing, but he doesn't got Blueface selling out stadiums. He doesn't got Blueface, in auditoriums. This man got Blueface in car wash parking lots, Panda Express drive-throughs, Subway parking lots, and Kaiser, Oregon nightclubs, right? Look, I'm not going to hate because he's doing more than I am. But at the end of the day, man, it seems like you're mismanaging Blueface's career. It's when singers and rappers and entertainers get old, you can guarantee you're going to see them at one of the Native American casinos. They're going to be over there, right? They're going to be at the Tachi Palace. They're going to be at Chichansi, Table Mountain, right? They're going to be at the Morongo. They're going to do all that. They're going to be at Nine Feathers or whatever the fuck it's called. They're going to be there doing concerts, all blown out, old, and don't sound like themselves. No auto tune. But that's when they get older, right? Up until that point, control. They're doing auditoriums with Janet Jackson and all this bullshit, right? This man is a youngster, Blueface, fresh up out of prison with all the hype, all up on Kick, all up on the social media platforms, arguing with every chick that he meets, threatening to choke him out and whatever. And you got this man pulling up to local nightclubs with 25 people in the mix, right, to do concerts. On Paru. That just seems like bullshit. But, I mean, that's to be expected from a man who just got caught with his eyes rolling back, partying all the time, Eddie Murphy style with another man. It just is what it is. Whether that's true or not, the video is facts. The video is truth. You know what I mean? That there was some extracurricular. This man had the man meet out, and he was meeting the man, and that was just what it was, right? That motherfucker was in there like, control. He was under control. But they pull up this weekend to an event, a pre-scheduled event, a concert in Kaiser, Oregon, of all places, right? And there's people there. And for whatever reason, man, Wack 100 just loves the attention, the spotlight, the drama. He gets into some rather unsavory wordplay with, I guess, some individuals that were from Portland, Oregon that had pulled up for the show, or they were just there, right? More than likely, they were just there, and it was just a coincidence that Blueface happened to enter the building. They didn't even know old boy was going to pop up. You know what I mean? And all of a sudden, here's Blueface, and I don't know if it was a Crip or Blood issue. You don't see those as much as you used to see them in the 90s and the 80s. I don't know if it was just people hating on Blueface or vice versa, but it was definitely a Wack 100 issue. That's for sure. Oh, Paru, he'll always make it about him, right? And so from the video that's running around on social media that's put out there, you see Wack 100 screaming, yelling, being held back from security. And all this video does is it kind of takes away from the video that was posted the week before, right? Of him with his eyes rolled back. If you ever notice, every time something happens with a person, an individual, something else happens, right? to take the attention off what just happened. You know, everybody's on the internet talking about Wack 100 shenanigans with another whole grown man in a whole different community, you know, and pronouns not discussed. And all of a sudden, it pops up him fighting at a club. Now, there was a shooting. If you watch that video, you could see that there was armed security with Wack 100, and his armed security is not about the bullshit. They were not playing. They were quick to pull out the pistols, the Billy Western, right? In the words of, Wack's bestie, Adam 16. They pulled out the Billy Western and ran up in the club and got to doing something amazing, right? They got to doing something violent. Now, Wack 100, I will say in the video, is not running backwards like a Tommy Guns video. He's literally going forward. So for whatever reason, he was arguing with whoever, and they took it in the club and got off. Usually, in most cases, people are in the club and they take it outside, so that way you have air, room, and opportunity to throw whatever you got to throw. Throw them bows on power, right? But for whatever reason, Wack ran up in the club, disrupting the Blueface fucking entertainment that was happening. You know, he was in that motherfucker like buzz down, Tatiana buzz down, right? And a fight ensued, right? Now, they need to fire the cameraman who put out this Wack 100 video, because you don't see nothing. You see Wack 100 arguing, which is normal. That's as normal as waking up in the morning and yawning. It's as normal as a man with his eyes rolled. Well, that ain't normal. But you know what I'm saying? It's as normal as breathing. Wack 100 getting loud and arguing with people is like normality at its finest. What we expect from that vato, right? If he's not arguing or screaming or yelling, I got the tapes, I got the tape. If he ain't doing something or saying something controversial, that ain't Wack 100. That's an imposter. They cloned him. That's Gucci Mane, right? I get the bag and fumble it. You get the bag, you flip it and tumble it, right? And I meant to say that. I know it's the other way around. But for reals, with Wack 100, there's always an argument. He's very argumentative. In his mind, he's a dominant man, right? Or is he just a dom? I don't know. Or a bottom. Either way, that's his story. Let him tell it. But he most definitely got into some type of argument, and there were shots fired. Now, why is it that everywhere Wack goes, there's arguments, there's situationships, there's all kinds of different things going on? Why? Because he plans it that way. Do you understand, with this video floating around of him in a compromising position with another whole grown 5 o'clock shadow man, right? Wack 100 decided that it would be necessary and best if he puts out a little something to get your mind off of that, to recognize that he's gangster, right? We're talking about a 50-year-old man, damn near 50, where I think we're the same age, going to be 48, 49, whatever. Him, right? I'm about to be 48 next month, but I know we're the same age. We was in YA together. But you get this man who's running around arguing with people younger than himself, tussling, spitting and biting. We don't even want to talk about spitting around Wack 100, because there was some wild shit going on in that video with him with his eyes rolled back. One could only know what type of spitting activities was going on. But what we do know is, in this video of Wack 100 arguing with these people, Wack looked like he was the aggressive motherfucker, right? It looked like someone disrespected him, which is going to happen a lot. See, I remember back in the days when Wack 100 was just a manager for the game. He was just a music producer. Like, that's what he was involved in. He was heavily involved in the rap, the industry, the hip hop industry. And that's all he cared about, man. You know, introducing new entertainers, booking people for shows, making money, managing. And people like the game blew up. Other individuals that had association with Wack blew up. He was on his shit. And in the meantime, in between time, he was able to develop relationships and connections in the industry and blow up himself. And then one day, Wack 100 decided to get into an argument with someone else and just go backwards. And now his whole shtick, his whole character is not producing music and making money behind the scenes. It's arguing with personalities on social media. It's sitting down with Adam 22 and basically being the Stephen A. Smith of the bullshit, right? Thinking he's the know-it-all and arguing with everyone, disrespecting the raza, disrespecting other rappers just because they don't want to sit down with them. Like his claim to fame. Let's look at it. Really, what is Wack's claim to fame? The fact that he signed the game and helped him build a long lasting career with longevity, or is the fact that he sat down with a bona fide rat 6'9" and had an interview, which he doubles down on. Now, according to Wack 100, everybody's jealous that he kicked that door open with 6'9". I'm tripping. Like all this rat and 50-50 yard and drop out and punk and all this bullshit that comes out of Wack 100's mouth. Fuck your mama on Paru and all this shit. On Paru, I'll beat your ass, right? All this different shit that he says. Yet he sits down with a certified, verified, self-admitted informant, someone who got people locked up all over the world, right? And doubles down and says, this is my partner, man. On Paru, this is my partner, right? You can't sit there and say on Pyru and all this different gang stuff that you'll beat someone's ass and they're dropouts and they're this and they're that, and then sit down with a dude who done told on everyone, who done told on brothers, man. A Mexican dude that done told on brothers, right? And that's all good because he's got money and because he's popular, right? You pick and choose your battles, I guess. Anyways, he didn't pick and choose this battle, or maybe he did. Maybe this whole fight thing that happened was something that came out of a situationship. It came out of, man, there's a lot of men running around right now on social media exposing the fact that Wack 100 was, we won't say the first word, but we'll say the last word, baiting to another man, right? Whether that's true or not, man, it looks mighty faulty. That video looks rather, I mean, that man was cross-eyed with his eyes rolled, but he looked like the Undertaker in that motherfucker. Dum, dum. That motherfucker, oh yes, Wack 100, oh yes. Right, that motherfucker, come to the dark side, Wack 100. Motherfucker had Paul Bearer in there, right? That motherfucker was doing the Undertaker with his eyes rolled back. Hey, he was choke slamming his shit. That motherfucker was doing the razor's edge. Look, one thing we know for sure is this could be a diversion tactic, which is in most cases what happens. You know, when people are questioning your ability to be a man and the feminine tendencies that were going on in a situation, you could say, you know what, well, fuck it. Next place I pull up, man, I'm going to get into some type of bullshit. You notice, hey, people are always recording, man. People are always, you know, there's always something going on with Wack. But anyways, from what I've seen, he got into an argument with some dudes and they got into a fight. Now, shots were fired. Allegedly, you know, there's a lot of people going around with the story was Wack 100 security who was defending and protecting Wack. You know, first of all, I get it, the security thing. I understand, you know, but you can't disrespect people online, talk about you'll fade anyone, you'll pull up, you'll do this, you'll do that. But you're running around with security, bro. Of course you're going to say that. Now, I'm not saying don't run around with security. That's the wise thing to do, especially when you're a controversial figure like Wack, who has disrespected a lot of people. You know, I'm sure these dudes felt play. They felt some type of way. Maybe they were J Dig fans. Maybe, just maybe, Wack 100, right? You don't bit off a brother that you can't chew. You would probably like to chew, but you can't. I don't know, man. But this energy for fighting people in public, this energy for disrespecting people, calling people out of their names, disrespecting their mamas. You disrespect my mama. You know? You are not alone. That man was there with you. Eyes rolled back, man. Where was his hand? Right? The Michael shit. Hey, I don't know what was going on with you, Wack 100, but this diversion tactic of fighting in public in Kaiser, Oregon, of all places, with a few brothers, man, that don't mean shit. That ain't going to stop people from reacting to the fact that you was on Paru, right? Right? I guess what that dude said on No Jumper Back, man, hey, 5'4" with a big butt, I guess that takes on a whole new meaning, right? But what doesn't take on a whole new meaning is everyone hyping this shit up. Oh, Wack 100 beat someone up. You don't never see Wack 100 put hands on no one. There was the only thing I got out of that video was I seen a security guard with brandishing a weapon and some fucking chick all happy she got pushed by Wack 100. That's all I seen. She was all hype about it. Like that made her whole life. Hey, that's Wack 100. He just pushed me. He just pushed me. Yeah, man, that was a grown man that pushed you. Unfortunately, I'm sorry you had to go through that. But if it floats your boat, then hey, it is what it is. He pushed you away, but he didn't push that man in that car away. Just saying, right? Anyways, Wack 100 did get into an altercation in Kaiser at a club. Fuck Blueface, huh? Blueface over there performing Tatiana, man, and you over there fucking it up. You're supposed to be behind the scenes. Managers are supposed to manage. You got to manage to stay the fuck out the way. But you got to understand, man, that Wack 100 is a whole personality. He's a whole character. He wants the attention. He wants people. For some reason, this man is still running around at almost the age of 50, wanting everyone to think he's a gangster. Look, Wack, there's plenty of videos on the internet of you fighting people, of you putting hands on people, of you getting hands put on you. You done knocked someone out on the internet and got knocked out on the internet. It's cool. You know, Wack is Wack. Is he intelligent? Does he know how to do business? He did. You know, having your boy pull up to Kaiser, Oregon, with a max capacity of 59 people at a little club, that ain't shit. Like, I don't know what you got Blueface doing nowadays, besides arguing with Christian Rock on what is that fucking the Zeus Network, right? I don't know what's going on, but I do know this, and this is facts, right? You know, Wack 100 better watch out. He better not cry. He better not shout, and I'm telling you why. Oh, power rule. One of these days, man, he's going to run into the wrong characters, man. And they're going to boop bop him. I don't want to see that, but it's like the clock is ticking on him. You know, and I don't understand why Wack turned into that type of person. It ain't that serious. I understand, man, he knows how to make money. There's no denying that. He has money. You got to have money if you're running around with armed security and doing all that. And I understand it's like a tour. Like, I think their next stop was Subway. But, and I don't even know if Wack ruined that show. You know, that motherfucker was in the back like, BMT, tuna sandwich. They were doing their thing. But one thing I know is that Wack 100, man, definitely stole the show that night. So thank God, man, for Wack that he wasn't injured or hurt. You know, he's probably going to go on his Clubhouse or on, I'm sure, man, on No Jumper, and he's going to talk about it. Adam's definitely going to ask, so what happened over there when you was in the Pacific Northwest? Did you meet any 16-year-olds? Inquiring minds. Fuck it, I want to know, right? That's going to be how it is. But at the end of the day, Wack 100 is a master manipulator and a master illusionist, right? So he'll make you get your attention off that, and now we're talking about this. But I'm going to talk about a little bit of both because, man, a man with his eyes rolled back in the head in the presence of another man, especially one that swings that way, we can't let that go. You know, that's like when Wack pulled out his wallet and the badge fell out. Oh, man, them's just like toothpick. Man, them's jokes, y'all. Them's jokes, right? No, them's not jokes. That's called caught. You got caught. But everyone sweeps it under the rug. This man will sit here and talk shit about everyone, man. This man got a badge in his wallet. This man sits down with someone who admits to chopping it up with 16-year-olds. Like, this man does a lot of wild shit. You go sit there and expose everybody's paperwork in the world, calling him a rat. Oh, Big Meech this, Blue Da Vinci that, this guy that, right? But, bro, you sat down with 6ix9ine and damn near, you are not alone. You hugged him on some Michael shit. Stop it, bro. Just stop it, right? I'm just glad that no one got injured. You know, again, fire the cameraman, because the video I've seen, all you see is Wack yelling and screaming, which is normal. You could hear that every day at the Yell Over Each Other club that Wack is a part of and promotes. You can go on No Jumper and hear him ask questions to Adam about shit he already knows. It's in the script, right? He'd be like, who is Moose Man? Motherfucker, you know who he was, bro. Adam ain't signing no one. He ain't allowing no one in No Jumper if he doesn't run it across you first, bro. Because you done made so many motherfucking enemies. God forbid he brings someone in there that puts all kinds of fingertips on you. Now, look, I'm not saying Wack's a slouch or a punk or can't fight or none of that, right? But I'm saying, man, God forbid they bring someone in there from the 60s that got love for Big U, man. Imagine what Wack would do. Imagine if Jay Diggs got out and he pulled up. Man, hey, I bet you. Look, I'll put whatever money you want on it. I ain't got a lot, but I'll put whatever I have, right? A Buffalo nickel. I bet you if Jay Diggs got out of prison today and Adam signed him to pull up to No Jumper and was like, hey, bro, you're a co-host now, I bet you Wack would quit No Jumper. He'd be over there on hood stocks and shit. Oh, Paul Rue, essay, right? Just facts. Anyways, with that being said, Wack 100 got into an argumentative tussle in Kaiser, Oregon, man, and shots were fired. You know, Wack wasn't hit. No one else was, man. Thank God for that. But is this, you know, a situation that just was organic? It happened. Some Portland cats was like, fuck this cat, right? Or he just disrespected people, or they questioned him and, you know, Wack went crazy. It was all kinds of fuck your mamas, right? Or is this a video that's put out there of just a fucking mellow ass incident to take eyes off the real incident that was going on? Dum, The Undertaker incident. I don't know, man. Let me know. Thumbs up or thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown. I'm going to continue to strive, struggle, and strive for what I honestly and truly believe in, and that's the betterment of all people, man. This video is sponsored by Barrio Liquors in Turlock, California. If you're ever in the Turlock Central Valley area, the 209, make sure you pull up to the Barrio in Turlock. Barrio Liquors, man, and go get you something icy and cold to drink. Also, by Sticks and Stones Yard Service in Tucson, Arizona, man. If you need an estimate and you're in the local area of some good yard work done by a hard-working individual, Google Sticks and Stones, man. He got you covered like a state blanket. I promise that. This is the gun. Bang, bang.